And we welcome you onto the air here from the Edge Ice Arena on John Street, not to be confused with the one right across the way here, as we do have a timeout called right on cue to welcome you into this broadcast on the Chicago Portagers YouTube channel. Although a little bit late, still happy to be with you. Ryan Contreras Betts to my right, Luke Jordan here with you, alongside our great hardworking crew that was able to troubleshoot through the internet of death, Ryan, but we're here and we're alive.
There's always something, right? It's never easy, both for these players and for the broadcast crew. Everyone kind of forgets about that. We've got a lot of hard workers here, and we're able to make it work. We're glad to be with you on this fine Wednesday evening.
Timeout called here. It's already 4-0 in favor of Chicago for those of you just joining us, which is all of you, because...
About 6.5 minutes in.
Yeah. Just right now, we're behind the right end here to your camera view at home, folks, and we've seen a lot on our end. It's felt very one-sided so far. How would you summarize it to the people who haven't been able to see it yet?
Well, to be honest, Luke, you already summarized it. One-sided. The Portagers have maintained possession for basically the entirety of the first 6.5 minutes. That quick timeout by the Bobcats was needed because they're kind of on their heels on the defensive end. The offensive cycling of the Portagers has been well. I mean, all 4 goals have come within the first 5 feet of this crease. It's not like these are shots from long range that are getting through. It's just there's a lot of shots in tight quarters. Bailey Smith, even though he's not on the goal board yet, he's been setting up these plays. He's getting right there on the edge of the crease, making nice behind-the-back passes, and it's just been really easy for the Portagers to get the offense rolling early on. And lots of over and backs, too.
Yeah.
It's not as if the Portagers are playing that clean. I mean, they've had, I think, 4 over and backs already. Bobcats just have had no possession whatsoever.
New names chipping in for Chicago, and plenty of new names on the Naperville end as well. This is a Bobcats team that has already played their first game of the season, lost it by a score of 10-6 back on the 28th of June. They only had 7 runners in total, plus Bruce Fougere, the head coach and manager, and name-it-all goalie that is now entering back into his crease here on this right end, but he's actually done a great job, and these are a bunch of new young guns, a lot of NCAA commits, couple of MCLA as well that are stepping in here, and it's not going to be easy at the start of the season for Naperville. This is a talking point we had last season, right, with their new roster. Well, with the way that they've recruited things now, getting plenty more numbers out here, yes, you've got stamina running through your team now, but it's going to take a little bit for things to start coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's early in the season. The Bobcats only played 1 game, and I don't know if you mentioned this. I had a brief moment of forgetfulness. There's a shot in front.
And what do you know? Austin Curtis, the former Jacksonville University player, is on the board. First-team all-conference selection, not once but twice at JU, 2013 and 2014. He's still got that same speed he does over 10 years ago.
Well, it was just a bad turnover back here right in front of us, actually, behind the net on the Bobcats' end. Bouncing ball picked up nicely over there by Kevin Signar. Right out in front to Austin Curtis. He had a wide open net. Nothing that the Bobcats could have done there. Bruce Fougere just out of his crease and out of mind.
Face-off battle here. Noah Pressman and Tim Martino. 22 against 44. Pressman, who spent his senior year at Michigan State's MCLA program after 2 different Division III schools, is able to help get that one a hold of for Chicago as they start to set up. Skip pass through to the near side. Chicago rocking the red with brown pinstripes as that one weaved wide. And Bailey Smith backtracking, this one bouncing over the glass and out. It's going to be Naperville ball.
Watch for that transition play every time. That may be the 6th time I've noticed that for the Portagers already early in this one. So much open spot in the slot out in front of Bruce Fougere. Nothing he can do. The Bobcats defense has to tighten up the middle. Here's John Bauer twisting to the right hand, and Leonard's able to get down on it for the save. Bauer recently committing to Quincy University, part of the Great Lakes Valley Conference. Both of us are very familiar with, Luke. Very much. Got to work plenty of Lewis athletics, so whenever we see Paul Ruskowski, he will be a talking point. The former Bobcat now turned Portager as Fougere lets that one play through to the near side, and this could be trouble. Ground ball up for grabs. Connor Peterson, the former Milwaukee Muskie, gets a hold of it. Portagers' last game was against Milwaukee. They played a doubleheader back on the 20th of June. Traveled to Madison, won that game 17-8, then continued on with their day, had to make another hour or so over to Milwaukee, play at the Ozaki Ice Center,
and come away with yet another win. That one 12-7, a little bit more defensive. But here they are, firing on all cylinders offensively, except that shot ends up wide. Over and back it is, and changes can occur for both sides.
Well, and see, that's what I don't love there, even from the Bobcats, is going for the change the way that they are and not getting on that over and back quicker. I mean, honestly, I think if they ran down the length of the court and got to the ball quicker, they can set up play and have more time of possession and really have to test Dave Leonard.
It's a tough shove there up top. It's already a hefty lead for Chicago. Over 6 minutes to go, though, here in just the first. A Singleton's shot could not go. Bouncing up high in the air and eventually corralled by Chicago. Cherry Picker up ahead, and this could be trouble as the Portagers will extend their lead yet again.
Did he just smack
It's
his
one
head
heck
on the
of a
glass?
celebration.
Well, how about that? And like you said, you described it perfectly, Luke. A cherry picker on the other end. And there's not much the Bobcats can do. They let him get in behind the defense. All he has to do is jump in front of the crease and get it over the top left shoulder of Fougere. Fougere facing a lot of shots early on, compared to Dave Leonard, only facing 2 shots. He's been strong on both of them, not allowing the rebounds either. You can hear Bruce Fougere says, try to get the rebounds and get a second chance opportunity. That's great about this vantage point is we can really hear the players.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, especially this Naperville bench, too. When they're moving in transition, you can hear them counting, yelling out how many guys are subbing on. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really just, this is a sport and a league where you can be so close to the action, and it just provides so much more of a tactical perspective, and we're really getting that here early on. And, it's also one of those things where in a game where it's, 6-0 already, you might feel the game's out of reach, which it isn't yet, as this will be a man-up opportunity for the Bobcats, chance to start to cut in. But even if you feel this is a one-sided game, you can probably hear it yourselves, and you can hear it from us. We're talking about things that we still learn, too, from here to time.
No, I mean, we're always learning it, and that's what's great about sports in general. You can know the game in and out. I mean, I talk about myself. I'm a baseball player. I've been around the game for basically my whole life and could tell you just about every statistic possible. I'm constantly learning something new.
Well, there's 6 minutes to go, and Fugere's walking over towards the Bobcats bench here. Penalty looks to have been assessed to Pressman, who is a Fogo hypothetically in field lacrosse, but not exactly the case here. He can get involved, and that's why he is likely the one in the box. But now an official's going to go in and check with the scoreboard. That seems to be missing a piece to the puzzle. Looks like they've inserted the time wrong on that penalty, so that's the slight holdup here as we're past 9 minutes in. It's our first broadcast of the year here for either team, but as we mentioned, not the first game. Chicago 2-0, Naperville, this is their second home game. They lost the first to Milwaukee not too long ago. Some Bobcats playing catch before they get ready to work the perimeter here and try to find that first goal. Bobcats struggled heavily against the Portagers last year, and it's definitely tough when you already have such a strong foundation in a team like Chicago. This is their 5th season. For the Bobcats, this is their 2nd, so something you kind of build along as you go, and heck, maybe you'll end up like the Portagers this year and the years to come, the 2024 national champions, when the tournament was hosted on their home soil. This year, Harvest Classic, Iowa City, Iowa. We'll definitely be there in some form.
I'll be in Iowa City, that's for sure.
Here's Austin Curtis, who takes it at the middle of the floor. Nice little fake. Then he gives it over. Near side. Spin, move. Twisting shot goes wide. Short glass, so you're going to see the ball hop over every now and then.
I mean, in warm-ups, I saw that plenty of times. I went around, picked up like 5 different balls, tossed it back out onto the floor. It's going to have to be a tight game played, especially, we're not on turf. So there's going to be a lot more bounciness. You can see the ball right now in the bleachers near our cameraman, Nate Royer.
Nate always doing an incredible job for us. Faking a step-down attempt. Now Singleton's going to work it to the near. A couple of good shooters out there. Martino's one of them. Gives it over to the far side, and it goes just wide from what looks to be Ian Brady. Stepping back down in a shot that won't go by Sean McNamara. It was Kai Hayes on the previous try.
Give the Bobcats credit on this man-up opportunity. They're doing a good job of finally getting shots in on Leonard, and they're looking good. They're just missing a few from out top high in the slot. Just going over the top of the crossbar. I think that speaks to a little bit of the momentum the Bobcats started to find in the rhythm with their offense. Starting to gel a little bit here.
That one stays in on the glass this time. Curtis from a distance as the shot clock trimming down now to 0, shot clock violation. Bobcats playing just their second game here inside the Edge on John Street. Previous home, Naperville Lacrosse Arena. Spent 1 year there. This is their first year here. John Bauer. Up top now for Keegan Cho. Cho back for Bauer with a lane to shoot. Just misses over the crossbar. And it was that close for being a first Bobcat goal. But now here comes the threatening Austin Curtis. He's all alone, and that's all he needs. It's now a 7-0 lead for Chicago.
Not much to say there. Austin Curtis, always a dangerous scoring threat. And when he's bearing alone on a breakaway like that, he didn't even have to be at a full sprint. He was at a nice little jog, was able to pick his corner and fire that one past Vugere. Frustrating start for the Bobcats, especially after we said a moment ago. They were getting momentum. They were starting to gel on offense a little bit. Just got to be stronger on your shots, too, and not turn the ball over as much. Good face-off win would be huge here for the Bobcats.
And Martino battling heavily, but Pressman's able to win it, and he will get off this time.
Well, that's a story here even for Pressman. Nice hit.
Tim Martino makes Bailey Smith hit the deck.
Well, we talk about...
Heads up. You're saying?
Well, I was saying about Pressman, it was last year, I remember, Pressman struggled at the face-off.
Yeah, he had games where it was tough.
And already so far, he has won every face-off he has taken in the early goings of this game. That shows you the improvement in the offseason that he had working on those face-off struggles.
We actually talked to him before the game. He's been doing a lot of military training in general, so overall conditioning is definitely going to play a point in that.
And I think, too, here's a breakaway again. Nice save by Fugere. Loose in front. Nearly potted home.
That's the vet, Cameron McKenzie. He almost found another Portager goal in his career.
Another crease violation there. But as I was saying, with Pressman, even just the mood change, I think that was one thing, too. He struggled with a little bit last year was confidence because of those struggles. You know, sometimes you could see he was really frustrated near the bench or after a lost faceoff or after the penalties. Took a lot of penalties last season as well. Seemed to really wear on the mental aspect of your game. He was in a great mood when we were chatting with him for a good 5-10 minutes. We were just trying to pick up some chairs, and he was all smiles.
Getting ready to go to the ROTC program at Michigan State in East Lansing. Austin Curtis turning on the Jets yet again. He never really runs out of fuel. But this time he is turned away by Evan O'Brien. Out in front, and a bouncer goes wide. Not a bad look for what looks to be Paul Ruskowski wearing number 63. A Lewis lacrosse legend that has graduated now from the school. Well, from eligibility, should I say. He is still taking a fifth-year pilot school there, but he's not allowed to play. Another chance for Chicago, and the numbers their way have helped, for sure. A lot of fast break opportunities, and it's paying off.
And that's what you've got to do. If you get the fast break opportunities, you have to capitalize. Portagers do a good job there, coming back the other way. And it's just another one of those moments where the Bobcats are a little too slow in transition back on the defensive end. Already up to 8-0. Got just over a minute to play, actually 75 seconds to play here in this first quarter. Much needed break will be coming up for the Bobcats to see what they can do in that second quarter.
Portagers on good pace for what could be an early season high. 17 goals scored against Madison as it stands. After this, Chicago will have already completed the full cycle of Eastern Conference teams. 4 teams in the conference yet again this year. Portagers have finished at the top every season that they played in. Some years, closer battles than others. Milwaukee usually up there with them, but the Muskies actually finished 4th out of 4 last year. Bouncer try saved by Fougere and picked up by Naperville.
You know who I've noticed a lot more in this game
As
than I
here's
did?
Kai Hayes. He'll try a left-handed shot, and there's Naperville's first strike.
Well, I got to eat my words because I was just about to talk about the defensive and transition play of Zach Dorn. Notice him a little bit more on this end of the floor than even we did in his limited time last year. When he came up, really seemed to get going. Obviously, we know hardest shot from back in the day. But good on Kai Hayes right there to finally get the Bobcats on the board with 35 seconds left in the quarter.
Kai Hayes, former opponent of mine, played at Fremd High School. Now playing at St. Ambrose. His father actually was an assistant coach at Palatine when I played there.
Wow.
And crazily enough, just this week, he was named the head coach now of the Palatine program. So congrats to you, Coach Hayes, and congrats to your kid there, Kai, on getting his first BLO goal. Roskowski's feed in front misses the intended target. Got a piece of Fugere's shoulder before it's recuperated. Sent out in front, a little backhander by Smith won't go. And the rebound neither. Fugere starting to really get his rhythm. Final seconds, one last heave, and it'll have to come from midcourt. They run out of time. Just unaware of the clock, and nonetheless, Naperville still a little bit of a spark now, having got on the board. It is 8-1. But for the time being, we're going to step away on our mics real quick for just about a minute or so. Don't go anywhere here on the Chicago Portagers YouTube channel. Portagers with a hefty lead at the moment. Definitely plan on a halftime interview. I think we'll spend a good maybe 2 minutes with this. Welcome back, folks. Mike Wooden stopped by the booth.
Always a
Those
pleasure.
of you folks that have been around the BLO, of course, know his name. He's played for both Naperville and Chicago. He just slapped on the glass, gave a little heart sign to David Leonard, who is now just in front of us. Leonard, a big fan of us too. We're a big fan of David Leonard as well.
Love hearing our voices whenever he reposts those highlight clips every year, or even every half season, I would say, give or take. He's got some good highlights, too. He makes a lot of really nice saves. He's a strong netminder.
Big reason why the Portagers are up 7 at the moment. And as you see there, just the chemistry of Naperville, a lot of new names just struggling to settle in. Their one goal has come from Kai Hayes, who's playing in his first ever BLL game. A current college athlete at St. Ambrose, not far from Iowa City, where the national tournament will be. So I would imagine there's a good potential he could end up playing in the national tournament for Naperville. Some of the college guys, they can't exactly stick around, but he definitely seems like one who could. Just got to see how this roster will shapeshift as it goes, but it's a problem for later in the season. Hannett gave it away, and now this will set up a chance in front for Rizkowski, denied by Fugere. And Fugere is somebody who's really started to pick it up as the game has gone on.
Yeah, I think he's really found his own rhythm as well. I think part of it's too frustration. I mean, if you know anything about Bruce, he plays good when he's frustrated. When he gets angry, he kind of turns it up a notch. He's very vocal. I mean, no matter what, he is a vocal guy. Great veteran leadership. Very smart mind, too, in the game of lacrosse.
Chipped over to Singleton, who bounces one off target. And time's going to run out on the shot clock. Shot clock violations seem to have only been on this end so far. And now we thought we had a delayed call. David Leonard did at least, and now he tracks back to his goal. It's still even strength. Here's Rizkowski. Opens up, passes it in front, and that one either got the shoulder of Fugere or hit the crossbar. We're on the other end, so we'll be transparent. It's a little hard to see at times.
Well, what you just missed there, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you caught this, Luke, as the ball went out of play. It stayed Portagers' ball because it deflected off of a Bobcat, and two Bobcats defenders went back trying to go for a change, and they had to be told from the bench, no, we're still on defense.
Good catch.
And that opens up space, and that's several times I've noticed that quietly in the background of the transition play of the Bobcats. It's less the chemistry that's not flowing, it's more not being aware of the right time to transition and being slow to get the ball in transition that's preventing them from having sustained offensive zone pressure except for their one-man up opportunity.
The passing slowly becoming a bit of a struggle too. That's the second turnover on just a flat-out direct pass that has not connected as it ends up out of play. And since it's last off Naperville, it's now Chicago's turn on the chessboard. Here's Zach Dorn, who is an internet sensation from years ago. 2014 MLL All-Star Game. He came onto the field as a fan and had the hardest shot, 114 miles an hour, if I recall correctly, which is sensational as he's defending Kai Hayes at the moment.
And that record lasted for a long time. I believe
Very
it
long
lasted
time.
up until, 2021 was it, or 22?
Sounds right. One of those two, right?
Yeah.
Here's Kai Hayes crashing to the goal, tries to slot it. What a save by Leonard. He's jumping like the light on the Pixar introduction, if you know what I'm talking about.
Good old Luxo.
And now Kevin Signar. Oh, Kevin, you can't miss that. He had the whole top right corner open, just couldn't connect.
Mr. Applejacks himself couldn't find
I
one.
wasn't going to throw it here on the air, but we're having fun.
We've got a lot of good nicknames for Kevin. Slim Reaper, got to be one of my favorites.
Leonard slides down to make the save there on Sean McNamara. And look what it turns into the other way. Bear able to put that one in the back of the net.
Well, you can even hear down on this Bobcats side in the lane, were you there? And it's just these open passes that are being missed in transition. Not the first time we have seen that tonight. Face off. Back up at the mid. It'll be won by the Portagers off face-off violation. They get to work.
And quickly out into the danger zone, they add on another. Just a little bit of open space in front of Fugere today. Late slides coming for Naperville, and it is making them definitely pay.
We're in double digits now with 10:39 to play here in the first half. John Street not treating the Portagers, or not treating the Bobcats, I should say, rather, too hot so far.
Martino able to battle here on this faceoff, and it is still scooped up by Chicago. Down in the corner for the captain, Bailey Smith.
Outside of that one open court collision, we really haven't seen too much physicality in this game either. You know, your typical stick wax, but the body hasn't really been thrown yet.
I think with some of the Naperville guys especially, it's usually a pretty good allyship between these two teams. I think they both get along with the fact that they don't like Milwaukee, maybe not like Madison, but not as much as they don't like Milwaukee. It's always been a good rivalry between the Muskies and Portagers. We're going to see a good few games of that this year.
See, I think that's one thing that only coaching can fix. In that transition, the Bobcats were walking off the bench to get to that ball. And yes, they have to wait for the referees to blow the whistle, allow play to get started there, but still getting to the ball quicker. You know, the referees, if you've ever noticed, they'll get the play started a lot sooner if you get there quicker, and you can catch the Portagers not having enough men back on the defensive end. And that's one thing that's got to be picked up if the Bobcats want to, you know, make this a respectable score.
Good try by Corey Kotzenis, but that caught a piece of the ceiling. So automatically, it is Naperville's ball as they'll trudge back into the attacking end before it's pried loose. McCacken couldn't keep it, and now he's got to defend Austin Curtis. Everybody slowly getting into form here for the Portagers as they look to add on. Ryskowski, good pass. Open high slot, now tossed off far side. Weaved up in the air and captured by Smith. Time running slim on the shot clock, 6 seconds, and that will reset. As Chicago repossesses off the shot that was on target. Ryskowski trying to put it home as he goes horizontal across the crease and just couldn't finish. A turnover on the exit for Naperville. And once again, still plenty of time now to shoot and repossess. 23 seconds on the shot clock. Ryskowski from a distance, and that one denied. Smith trying to dice it home in front, and he cannot do so. 8 minutes and counting left here in the second.
Oh, look at this. Good transition here from the Bobcats, but not able to corral the ball. But that's the best we have seen from the Bobcats, being quick on that transition, and that was started back over by Kai Hayes. He was the first one to get out here.
Singleton's been liking his lengthy shots, but David Leonard's been all over them so far. Of course, Brandon Singleton, the former Chicago Portager himself, now sporting 47 in white. When Chicago had those departures of a couple of guys last year that went to the Naperville program. One that really stuck out was Singleton. He's a physical force, and he has a great shot, just hasn't been able to put it in the back of the net yet today.
I mean, he hasn't had the time to, hasn't had the possession in the offensive end to do so.
Really, the only looks that have been on target are quite distance-full at the moment. Here's Kevin Signar putting one in the back of the net. Welcome back, Kevin. Just can't get enough of that guy. Work at the same place as him. An ice maintenance guy over at West Meadows Ice Arena, Rolling Meadows Park District. They're actually renovating a sports complex right now, putting in
really
new ice, fixing up the ceiling, fixing up the flooring, and I was like, hey, should convince them. Make it a box lacrosse arena, right? Well, you've already got the ice. No? You're not a fan of it?
The ceiling's a little too low for that, unfortunately.
That's a good point.
I mean, this is a pretty low ceiling here, too.
Yeah.
But we've only seen the ball get knocked into the banners.
That was almost disgusting. Tim Martino's been able to create a lot of good looks so far.
I mean, that's what a veteran will do.
Martino, St. Rita High School product. Played his college ball at Carthage, where he finished there in 2023. Here's Ruskowski. Hard whack on Senko. It's just going to be fun throughout the rest of this game to see how much this Naperville team can develop throughout the game. As they go from a distance yet again, it's been that high slot look. That time Kai Hayes, and he has the only goal so far for Naperville, but can't double his count.
Well, Hayes was aware as a nice back and forth pass.
Disgusting quick stick, and that's going to be a push.
Yeah.
No intent meant. Peterson helped right back up. Probably didn't feel too nice. Peterson from Calgary, Alberta. We're about to have a special guest here on this broadcast as a BTB is missed by Dorn and then eventually collected by the Bobcats in white. We're making our soccer substitution. We've got the board up right now. Ryan Contreras-Betts will come off for the moment being. We're playing college soccer, though. You can sub guys back in, so Contreras-Betts will be back. We've got, am I really saying this right? The former player, Mike Wood? That's not going to stick, right?
The free agent. The free agent, Michael Wooden, as of right now.
As of right now, okay. Fair enough.
First of all, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, of course.
It's an honor.
Yeah, my former high school coach right here, so.
Dude, when you say it like that, it makes you sound old. Always a pleasure to talk to you, Jordan, though. It really is, man.
It's a pleasure to have you on.
I remember actually the first time I ever coached you was in indoor.
Yeah.
And that's before I even played indoor.
Yeah, really?
No joke. Me and Ray Kincaid.
Yep.
He was running the joint and he asked for some help. I was like, sure, why not? And I hadn't played indoor by that point, but lacrosse is lacrosse, whether it's indoor or outdoor. For those watching or those listening, you probably know the only difference is how fast-paced it is. Indoor is so much more fast-paced. Outdoor is a lot more about speed, finesse. Indoor, to me, is brute strength.
Yeah.
Jordan, I forget to ask you, man. Did you ever play indoor? I mean, obviously.
So I never truly played indoor. I would recreationally from time to time, but
okay. So when
indoor, that's the thing. I got the speed. I don't got the strength. So maybe it's a good thing I stay away from it.
Wait, you don't got the height, man. That's all you don't got. That I'm gonna be honest with you, but you had the speed, dude. You're one of my favorite players to coach, man, because you were gritty. You had the speed. You didn't have the height, but that didn't really matter in lacrosse, which is what I loved about lacrosse, because all the sports I used to play, man, they always tell me, I gotta be 6 foot or I'm nothing. And I'm like, well, I'm 6 foot nothing, and I'm not 6 foot, so.
Well, I'm sure we're both glad we found the sport of lacrosse. I must ask you, did you ever play with the Outlaws, or?
Yeah,
So you did.
My career started with the Outlaws, which so did Bailey, the captain of the Portagers, number 88.
Really? Okay.
Yep, he played with the Outlaws. I came in as a practice squad player, pure out of just knowing Ray Kincaid. Shout out to him. He's one of the OGs.
He's awesome.
in our area.
Yep.
Short story on the backstory of the creation of the Portagers. So the Outlaws were created long before you and I were a twinkle in lacrosse's eyes. And so what ended up happening was Ray Kincaid created the Outlaws back in, I'm probably going to say roughly 2010, 2012.
Wow, okay.
And they played all the way up to basically COVID.
There's Signar putting one home.
Yeah, and Signar was also a former Outlaw.
Really?
Yeah, he started his practice squad days with the Outlaws, if I remember correctly. His dad, low-key, used to coach him back in the day. He's the real OG coach.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin
He coached me in hockey, actually.
Yeah, Kevin Signar. He's a legend in the area, man. Not only on the lacrosse field, but on drums as well.
Oh, he's sick.
He plays at the Palatine Festival.
Yeah. He's bucket number 6. They're awesome.
You already know. He's a legend in the area, man. But to finish the thought, the Outlaws basically gave way to the Portagers because a lot of the first-year Portagers, myself included, Bailey included, Bruce, Dave, I believe, maybe he came a little bit later. I could be
I think
wrong.
he was a first year. I want to say.
Like a lot of us, we were from a spawn of the Outlaws, and reason being business decisions were made. Ray had more important things, I will say, going on in his life. Just he had a lot going on. He was running a program. He taken over the Buffalo Groves program in lacrosse, high school wise. So and he had, I believe, recently at that point he had just gotten married, and then COVID happened. So it was just kind of like he had his own thing going on, and we were all kind of like, well, what are we gonna do? And lo and behold, Bailey Smith, number 88, captain of the Portagers, he was like, well, he got in cahoots with Matt Now, owners of both these teams, actually. I don't know if everybody knows that, but they are partners in ownership of this and the Milkmen of Madison. I don't think that's well known. If it
Iowa
is,
Dogfish as well too, I believe.
Yes, you're actually correct. Yep, that's the only team I haven't played for, actually.
Hey, come on, we're gonna check that box.
Like I said, man, I've been traded for a bag of balls and a washing machine more than once. So, hey, I'm just here to play. That's all that matters. I may not show up on the scoreboard, but I'll show up everywhere else. So yeah, actually, I wanted to point out to a major player, Brandon. I believe his number is 47.
Yeah, 47 in white.
On the Bobcats,
Yep.
man. Me and him go way back. He used to play for the St. Louis team. I believe it was the Mastodons, if I'm not.
Yeah, Missouri
mistaken.
Mastodons.
Yeah, Missouri Mastodons. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
But they were homed in St. Louis, man. And back in the day, I think it's my rookie year, he put me on my back on a similar floor to this, a cement floor, melted down ice, and he wrecked me. But I scored on the hit that he gave me. My back bruised so bad I couldn't play the rest of the tournament.
We were just talking about, me and Ryan were just talking about how strong of a player he is. I don't want to see him coming down towards me because he will run me over.
I had a fast break, and he was between me and him, and I had him on a break. I cut one way, I ripped my shot, and he ripped me to the ground. I mean, I went cleats overhead. So, but we can talk after the break.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a little break here and be back in a couple of minutes. It's the half at the moment, and it is a hefty one-sided score, 13-1 in favor of the Chicago Portagers. And we come back, a little bit more conversation with Mike Wooden, and then eventually third quarter action on the way here from the Edge on John Street.
Keep it where it's at, like the whole camera. Is that
Welcome back here to the Chicago Portagers YouTube channel, and it has been all in their names so far. They lead by a score of 13-1 at the moment over the Naperville Bobcats as we welcome you back into the broadcast. Great crew working with us. Ryan Contreras-Betts is our color commentator. His seat is replaced by Mike Wooden, who is wearing a Naperville Bobcats shirt and a Chicago Portagers hat. So if that doesn't give you the hint that he's played for both teams in his past, I don't know what will. And I really just want to talk about you and what you, I feel like still weird saying this, but what you remember from playing in this league. And I want you to talk about a favorite memory of yours, maybe. That would interest me.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm a confused guy. You know, I was a Portager to start, and I'm a Bobcat now, so I got gear from both. So my son's wearing a Portager jersey, and I felt like wearing a Bobcat jersey. Just because I don't really know who to root for. I got friends on both sides. My favorite memory is actually when I was playing for the Portagers, our second place year, the year before we won the championship. We were playing down in St. Louis. We had, I believe, 13 guys, and I got the most playing time because I was the only face-off guy. Not to say that I was very good. I think I was less than 50% that game, but I played my most minutes. We ended up losing that game, I believe, 13-7, but I still have the game ball. I'm pretty sure they gave it to me out of pity because I was just so exhausted by the end of the game. But that's probably my fondest memory. But I would trade that game ball for a win any day. I mean,
Team player.
As a competitor, you know, you want to win, you know, and I would trade any game ball I ever got in my playing career for a win. So,
I've got one more question for you. I'm always amazed by your style on the court. You always have, if I remember correctly, these very high black socks, and
copper fit.
It's funny because that's how I point you out sometimes when I can't see your number and I know what you look like. But if I'm looking from a distance and I see the long black socks, I'm like, that's Mike. That's Mike with the ball. He's the one passing. He's the one shooting.
It's funny that you say that because that's how my wife identifies me.
Really?
Yeah, no joke. She always tells me that I know who you are because of your high socks, and so does my sister as well. Reason I wear those high socks, copper fit, it's because I used to get a lot of shin splints and cramps.
Oh, yeah.
So
I got 'em
it
once,
actually,
too.
so you reason you wear the copper fit is it constricts your ankle, your calves, and it allows blood flow to those. So therefore,
Nice.
you don't cramp as much because your blood vessels are open. You're getting more blood flow, which allows potassium and other nutrients to get there that allows cramping not to come about. So that's the reason I wear them. I don't wear them for style. I wear them for comfort, which I would say anybody who wears copper fit would probably know that.
Fair.
But if you'd like, Jordan, I'd like to speak about the game.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do have a very independent view of the game. So here's what I will say about this.
Okay.
Playing for both teams in the last 5 years given, all right? The biggest, I can sum it up in one word, experience. The Portagers have a lot of experience, given the fact that they have a lot of new players. I mean, you've been calling their games since their inaugural year.
Yep.
You're having trouble calling those guys out. I have never met them in my life. So normally I can kind of see who's out there and kind of know them either by number or by style,
Yeah.
you know, high socks, no socks, whatever they do. I will say this. Bruce, the Bobcats goalie, Bruce is an experienced Canadian player. That dude knows more lacrosse than you and I and our entire bodies combined.
I believe it.
What his issue is he's dealing with guys that are field players, which there is about a year transition between coming from field and going to box if you have not played both in your career.
Yeah.
The speed of the game, the pockets and aisles of passing, like they're different.
Very
the game
different.
is sped up. It's not so much like finesse, speed. It's much more precise passing, shooting, and everything. So that's what I see in the biggest difference in the game. That's why the Portagers have a 13-1 lead. Now, those of you watching probably already know, it is running clock now. So unless the Bobcats come out and score right away, it's gonna end very quickly. I would like to see the Bobcats come out and push. They're very hesitant on defense. I see that because as a former defender myself, they're not pressing out. So in box lacrosse, you want to press out. In field, you kind of let them pick their lane and then you force them the other way. Box lacrosse isn't like that. Box lacrosse, you have to be on their hands, you have to apply pressure, and the other thing is, and this is where the experience comes in, there's no downward slide on the Bobcats right now. And the Portagers are taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
They're kind of having their free will in the sense of physical exertion or impression. You see that on the Portagers defense. You don't see that on the Bobcats defense, and I think that's the biggest difference in the game right now.
That's an incredible tactical view at it, because I think Ryan and I were both talking about the little bit of inexperience in the defense where you talk about those non-existent slides or even late ones, and that's a great look at it.
Even a late one is non-existent.
Yeah.
You have to anticipate. And I think that's in field lacrosse, you can be late. In box lacrosse, you're either there or
Yeah.
there's a goal.
Very true.
Like I hate to say it, but that's the biggest difference. It's very compact, and you'll notice the Bobcats have much more field helmets, whereas the Portagers do not.
Yep.
That's what I was telling my wife. She's like, "How can you tell?" I'm like, "It's just the helmet alone." Mm-hmm. So, not to say that guys who wear box helmets can't play indoor lacrosse. But if you are serious about your craft in the indoor league, you know that an indoor helmet is necessary because you stick out like a sore thumb if you don't.
It's very true. And a great look at the game for Mike Wooden, a coach, as you guys can tell. We should have you back on in the future. It's been very fun talking to you.
I'll be around.
Yeah.
I talked to Bruce. He wants me to come on. I have my bag in my car. You know, I don't go anywhere without it. So
There you go.
you never know. You might see a feature run from me. But
there you go.
But I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, of course.
And it's always a pleasure to see you, Jordan.
It's been a pleasure. Mike Wooden right here, the vet here of the BLL. We're going to take one last quick break, and then we'll be back for second half action. Here's Kai Hayes. Hopefully see him score again for the Bobcats if you're a Naperville fan. We'll take a quick break here on the Chicago Portagers YouTube. Second half action is now upon us here from the Edge on John Street in Bensonville, Illinois, new home of the Naperville Bobcats. And at the moment, they don't exactly feel like they're at home. It's a 13-1 lead for the Chicago Portagers, who have not had to travel far for this road game, and that's why they're up by a dozen. Back to it here. Third quarter underway. Ryan Couture's bets to my right. My name's Luke Jordan. Same crew that's been with you for 5 years now.
Is this really year
This
5?
is the fifth season of the Chicago Portagers. It's the second of the Bobcats. We've been able to cover every season for both teams, and this will likely be the last for us that we know of. Bailey
Man,
Smith up top.
Makes me feel so old there, Luke.
It is very weird.
To think about it, 5 years ago, if we really think about it, that was what? Our junior going into senior year of high school, and now we're going into our junior year of college. Both of us will be at the University of Iowa.
Our producer, Rad, doing a great job. Nate Royer, cameraman. Great as always.
Shout out Rad. You know, he makes me feel old, too. You know, he's the young one of the group going into his senior year of high school.
And there's Naperville on the board. It's a good start for them. Clock does still keep running here. 14:05 now and counting. But that's the type of things you want to see. I feel like just knowing Bruce to an extent, what he's saying to those guys is, hey, let's win the half. Let's win the half. Let's improve. Let's chem better. Let's work on those defensive slides. As if you just tuned in during half, you know exactly what Mike Wooden's talking about. Ryan has pointed out as well.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, you know, bringing up, you know, Mike's points during that halftime interview, while you were talking with him, I actually was close enough to the Bobcats locker room. You know, they were just kind of hanging out there around, you know, talking game plan before heading back out onto the floor. And exactly what you said, you know, Bruce Fugere, he was talking about that same idea, win the half, you know, do the little things right, just play a better, he basically was saying, just play better this half than you did the first. You guys know how to play lacrosse, you just have to execute. And, you know, already they look a little bit more firm on a few of these transition pieces. You know, they got that early goal, and they just have to continue that because it's the second game of the year for them. There's still plenty of season ahead. You've just got to build where you can.
Here's Zach Dorn dancing to the net, tiptoeing just outside the crease. Dorn tries the little Michigan attempt, per se. Lacrosse is Michigan.
Well, I was going to say, how can you really call it a Michigan when it's really called the lacrosse style goal? It's just called a Michigan.
Yeah, it's the lacrosse goal.
Because the first time it was scored, it was the University of Michigan.
Yeah.
That was what, 1999?
While ago.
Or 98?
90-something.
Yeah, one of those two.
Here's Cho. He'll put it up top for McNamara. McNamara, familiar Michigan name. Cade McNamara, former quarterback there. That's not Cade. Here's Singleton trying to break free. Then picked up and fired slowly and off target by John Bauer. Quickly, the way in transition is Chicago. Austin Curtis, little swim dodge, as he's going to settle things down.
So I think that's smart, too, there from Curtis. His whole idea, he could have shot that one right there, tried to get some rebound off of Fugere, but instead he decided to slow down and reset play, and it gives the Portagers a chance to work on some things in the offensive end.
Exactly. I think tie game, I don't know if he's doing that. Here's Ruskowski. Just finished his fourth and final year at Lewis. Denied by Fugere. It's a nice left-handed save. Bailey Smith. And it's going to go Naperville's way.
Well, it's just a matter of time before Ruskowski gets on the board. Not yet on the board here tonight. But even right there up in the middle, he made a nice swim move there. I mean, the way he cradles the ball, too, he's so strong on it. And I mean, he's such a successful career at Lewis. I mean, in the games that I got to see him play over there, he stands out among the rest of the field. He's just one of those talents that even when he's not doing a lot, you can just tell how skilled he is.
Largy collects it in the corner. Up ahead, Chicago once again. A lot of new names. We're still getting familiar with a couple, so if we're missing a few, please don't get mad at us. It is the first game we usually broadcast is kind of a getting familiar with it. We always usually try to revise, figure out what numbers we're missing after the matter. If we're being just completely transparent, which we already are. Smith, oh goodness, that was coming right towards us. Headed away by Fugere during the World Cup calendar.
Well, you talk about transparency, for better or for worse, we're pretty transparent. But I think that makes it for a personal broadcast.
Yeah, I think that makes you feel like you're right next to us, which you might wish you were, because this action from this angle looks pretty cool. Smith, oh, how about that pass? Just intercepted by Senko.
Good job by Senko to read that pass, though. Smith is so well known for that.
Sam Senko can wheel, and he goes to the net, but cannot put it home. And now Connor Peterson with plenty of space the other way. Bounced ahead, a one-hopper into the mesh of Bailey Smith. Portagers settling down, looking to go 3-0 on the season already. Always usually known for their strong starts to the year. Just look at how good this team's been year by year as Connor Peterson puts it home. 11-3 in their inaugural season. 9-4 in the next, 12-1 in their championship year. And then 10-5 last year, but 2 of those losses were to teams outside of the BLL, Grand Rapids Grizzlies. Actually, the standalone, they are an incredible team out of Michigan. And then we do have games scheduled against them once again. I think I'll be missing both of them, unfortunately, so we'll see. It's quite a ways out, but it might be your call then, and you'll get to see a great Grand Rapids team back in town like they now do every year. I think this is the 3rd or 4th year they're coming into Chicagoland and playing at least the Portagers, and now they'll be playing the Bobcats too. It is kind of cool. You got multiple leagues here in the Midwest, and seeing that crossover from a team outside the BLL like Grand Rapids, really one of the top outside against one of the BLL's best. Chicago, who had another solid season, but they're always looking to improve. Bailey Smith, Zach Dorn, backdoor, cannot score. You like that?
Okay,
Poetic.
Dr. Seuss. Luke Jordan can rhyme, can you?
Might just freestyle the rest of this game. Singleton.
You know, if you freestyle the rest of this game, I won't think to ever say your name.
I don't get it.
Nah, that's a pretty tame reaction from you.
Oh, it rhymes. My bad. Hey, we got summer brain.
That might have been the most delayed reaction to anything I have said in the booth in the now 6 years me and Luke have been doing stuff together.
Gosh, I
It is
miss
the
calling
most
games with you.
delayed reaction.
Here's Peterson. Little stutter right at the chest of Fugier. Rebound did pop out.
You said stutter. I would have taken a stutter as a reaction rather than 3 seconds of dead air and then, whoa.
That's why we're on TV. Radio? That's bad. That's bad.
Radio would have been even funnier. That's what Pat Hughes and the crew do.
Yeah. Saban's laugh in the background.
I do not want to talk about Zach Zaidman's laugh.
Jeez.
I've heard a lot of Zach Zaidman this
personal.
year due to Pat Hughes' health. Glad that Pat is mostly back on the call, though, because
Oh, we got some Cammy Mac in the recipe here. No, he's going to back off in the corner.
let's see if Zach Dorn can get a goal. He's looked strong. He just hasn't been able to pot one and find twine.
He has one. He scored late in the second.
Oh, he did. I
It's
missed
when you're
that.
off the
Oh,
mic.
it was when I was off.
To be fair.
To be fair, yes.
Bouncer won't go for McCacken, the OPRF graduate. Going to be going into his junior year. He spent his first 2 at the College of DuPage. Ruskowski, nice feed. Bailey Smith down Broadway. 15-2, and the clock continues to tick here in the third.
That a boy, Bailey Smith, captain of the Portagers. Always a pleasure to chat with. You know, we got to chat with him actually right as I walked in to the arena. He greeted me warmly, and then both of us got to chat with him for a few moments before the game started. Such a talented player, you know, and he always does the little things right, too. I mean, even in this game, he's had several opportunities to take it himself, and he's just passing it up for better looks for other of his teammates. I mean, he's got the skills. I mean, the trick plays that he pulls off on a game-by-game basis, it's constant.
It's crazy, too. You can identify him just simply by his footwork, too, his ability to just be quick on his toes. And
He floats. I mean, he
Yeah.
really does. He's light. It's not heavy footwork. It's not flashy, but it's fundamentally sound. As there's a nice shot from the top of the slot. Makes it number 16 on the board for the Portagers.
Well, this, as it stands, would be the second largest deficit between these two teams. They did play to a 20-4 in the past. That was back on August 13th last year.
I remember that game.
Portagers will look to go 3-0 now against Naperville, and Bailey Smith in that last game against Naperville last season had 4 goals and an assist. Usually stands out, as we mentioned. Now the 5th-year Portager and 5th-year captain. There's Kevin Signar, another fifth year. Zach Dorn, he's fairly new. And Smith will pick up the slack. Smith thinking about going from distance. Kevin Signar's pretty open, but even with that long wingspan, he can't haul it in. Signar, I believe, 6'4". Here comes Dorn. Too sharp of an angle. Nice grab. It's Connor Lockwood. Up top, one last prayer. Deflects wide, shot clock violation. Good catch by this official, knowing it didn't hit goal and hit Dorn in front.
I was going to say it hit Dorn in front before it can make its way to the crease.
Because if he was not there, that would have probably landed on target and reset the clock. But it's in the past now. 4 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. It's now past 9 p.m. here in the Central Time Zone.
Past my bedtime, Luke.
Well, we're not getting post-game eats.
No, I've got to get some food in the system.
Yeah, me too. I packed a sandwich to just not eat it yet, so I'm a little frustrated at myself about that. But, you know, first broadcast of the season.
Well, I mean, you got a great halftime interview with Mike Wooden, too. I mean,
Worth it.
It's worth it. Not too often you get treats like that.
RG dumps it off. Plenty of action along the season as it goes. The next one for the Portagers is their home opener on July 18th. Bailey Smith tiptoeing, can't get it by Fugere. Bruce Fugere, the Canadian, looking to loft ahead, and usually he arcs those passes a lot higher. Oh, Bailey Smith, what are we doing? It's World Cup season. A little header.
Something's not working. He didn't have his glove on properly or something with his stick. He had to use the butt end of the shaft.
And he's going to come off.
Just out of curiosity, what if I gave one of the guys my stick? You think they'd get caught for using it? It's got the bent shaft right at the top of the neck.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Really? Well,
When I was playing wall ball, I had no clue.
Yeah, it's illegal. You can't have your shaft bent up there.
That's a good point.
Mine's a 99-cent lacrosse stick from Goodwill. I picked up about, 10 years ago. No, not 10 years ago.
No.
8 years ago.
Okay.
It was about my 8th grade year. Thought about playing lacrosse for a brief period of time. Good friend of mine at the time encouraged me to play. He taped up my stick, strung that stick together as well.
I played from 3rd grade to sophomore year of high school, and just recently bought a new stick. Not a new one, I guess, as Fugere gets collided with there by Dorn. It's a battle of two strong forces there, as it'll stay Chicago ball. But I actually broke my stick right before I thought about playing my junior year, and I was eventually just convinced to, as weird as it sounds, stick to broadcasting. I was running the broadcasting club at my high school, and I got some heat for that, for not playing, but
I forgot you didn't play your senior year. That's right. We had
neither junior.
conversa-
I didn't play my junior or senior year. I played my sophomore on varsity, and I called it after.
Was it really after? Oh, because you were talking about going back your senior year. Because I remember having lots of
I wanted to go back, and
Yeah.
I was like, And it's nothing against the game of lacrosse. I absolutely love it. I might even play club lacrosse at the University of Iowa.
Really?
Which me and Ryan will go to.
Thinking about it?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's interesting. One of those conversations, because I'm thinking about trying to play club
Club
baseball.
baseball.
Time commitment too, and as broadcasters, where does it fit in?
It's tough, yeah.
It's tough. So very interesting.
If I had all the free time in the world, I'd be playing club hockey there. But
yeah.
that's too
A
competitive.
little too much, yeah. Well, I mean, even club baseball is going to be tough. I know it's a competitive field, but hoping they don't have too many pitchers. From what it looks like, they don't have a lot of pitchers. So I'm hoping my 85-mile-an-hour heat can turn some heads. I can get into the gym too, get it up a few miles.
So for those of you that don't know, me and Ryan are both going to the University of Iowa. Coming this
nice.
upcoming fall, that is a nip into the top left corner. I don't know how he found that. Just sneaks it over the shoulder of Fugere, but it's actually pretty funny. There's Kevin Signar, who coached me in high school hockey.
Yeah.
Played lacrosse. He actually played club lacrosse at Iowa for some time.
Did he?
And he gave me his Iowa gear. So I've got Iowa gloves. Nike.
Do you actually?
Nike lacrosse Iowa gloves. That's
Wow.
like unk status.
That's crazy.
It's old, man, but they're sick.
Well, I mean, we've known Kevin. I mean, you've known Kevin obviously longer than I have, but we've known him quite a while at this stage.
Yep. Well, we still got one more quarter of talking to you. And why not? Hey, I don't know. Do we have the YouTube live chat going? If anybody's still on and wants to ask any questions, we'd be open for that potentially in the
Send it in the chat. You know,
download
we're
question
open.
and answers.
You know, we're both social media savvy. We've done Q&As before.
We're going to step away for just a moment, though, here. We'll be back in just about 30 seconds here on YouTube. Back to the action here, folks, on YouTube. Ryan Couture's Bets Are Color commentator. My name's Luke Jordan, and we've got Brad Gores, our rad producer. You like that? Yeah, head nod of approval. You know, it's risky sometimes. Some people don't like that, but we know Rad's a chill guy. And Nate Royer.
He's just a chill guy.
How do I name play Nate?
Nate the Great.
Big Nate. Gargantuan Nathaniel. people would say, like, who are these guys? I promise you we would not be this way if it was 17 to 16. Singleton scores!
There you go,
How
Singleton.
about that, Brandon? Just a beast.
He's always been a beast. I mean, that's one great thing we love about him. He's always playing well. That's his first goal of the game, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he hasn't had. I think that might be his first shot on goal too. That's made it to the net. I know he's taken
He
an
might have had
attempt
one or he's made one or two in the first that
half,
might have
yeah,
hit, but
it might have.
we got to get a scorekeeper next to us. It's tough to keep up with all the
Statistician?
goals and shots and statistician. Pardon me.
Make Christian our statistician next game.
Ooh. We'll
Nice
pay
between
him
the
some
legs.
M&Ms. That'll play.
Dark chocolate M&Ms to be.
It's a good play, by the way.
Good play. Good play. Speaking of good plays, here come the Bobcats the other
Martino
way.
just can't haul it over the shoulder of Larson. By the way, goalkeeping change. Brian Larson into the game, who's shooting us a look at the moment.
Yeah, the look he shoots us.
I can't hear you. This glass is like sound. Oh, he's coming over. I don't know if the mic caught that, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. As the Portagers score again. And Castellanos. Take a deep drive to left field. Castellanos, and that'll make it a Portagers. We got to get you a mic, Brian. This is incredible. We need you mic'd up next game.
Oh my goodness. This got to be on par, you know, this half especially with the iconic. I don't know if you, ladies and gentlemen, remember this. Last year in the Naperville Lacrosse Arena, Instagram Live off of Bailey Smith's phone. This was one of the most frustrating broadcasts we've ever had. All of our equipment fails. And it's hot. And by the way, it was hot in Naperville.
Steaming
hot. Luke over here. It was funny. Before the game started. Good catch, Luke.
Maybe a. Hold on. Yeah, penalty.
Okay, penalty. Well, back to the story. Before that game started, I was the one frustrated and irritated going in. just the tech hadn't been working, and Luke was all, oh, it'll be all good. And then I kind of gradually like chilled out, mellowed out. I was just there for a good time. Luke, he wanted nothing to do with the Instagram Live. And then we do it. And it ended up being one of the funniest experiences. I mean, we were listening to the refs. They were walking over to us and like giving us live calls of everything.
Hearing the refs was so clutch.
And even like just being in between the benches, right on the field, almost getting hit by several shot attempts. It was quite a fun day. And this right here, I mean, it's similar. I mean, I don't think we've ever had a player come over to us during live action to tell us.
Fresh into the game, too. Like, not even, like, settled in. Brian Larson came in for relief for Leonard. Is that one? Just another one of the passes that has hit the top of the head of a Bobcat stick. They're just slightly misconnecting on some of these passes, and it's costing them throughout this game. But, yeah, no, that is... That's Brian Larson for you.
It's a classic. I mean, and that's also what's fun, too. We talked about earlier on air, this is our 5th year now doing it with the Portagers, which I still cannot believe it's been
I can't fathom
5 years. And just the relationships we've built. I mean, some of the guys we don't see for a full year, and then they're chatting with us like, oh, good to see you. So glad you guys are back. It's always enjoyable.
Absolutely. Skip pass here on the far side for Naperville. Just trying to work through this game step by step. And that step-down shot denied by Larson. Into the corner it goes. And now Chicago the other way. First game in the state of Illinois in 326 days for the Portagers. It's been quite some time. 2 games in Wisconsin so far. National tournament at Extreme Arena in Coralville, Iowa, technically. It's just about 20 minutes from the Iowa Dogfish. They play at I'm on Ice, which is also the home of a USHL hockey team, Cedar Rapids Rough Riders.
I was going to say, is that the Rough Riders
Yeah.
rink? I knew a former Rough Riders player.
Hey, Student Radio, we might be doing some Rough Riders games this year. That'll be fun.
Student Radio gets Rough Riders? Really?
Well, they did Heartlanders, and now they want to do...
oh, okay,
yeah.
so that'll be fun. Yeah. In case you guys don't know, the start for Luke and I, well, more myself rather than Luke was hockey, getting on the broadcast there, and then we were fortunate to have school programs that really helped us grow as broadcasters, and shout out to Luke. He's the one that's helped me along this journey. He does a lot of work.
My pleasure.
In case you guys don't know, this guy is probably one of the biggest workhorses in the industry.
Maybe too much sometimes. Burnout is on occasion. Shot clock violation here on Chicago. We are single-digit minutes left on this Wednesday night affair.
Well, we want to shout out Rad, too. I mean, the work that he's done at Hinsdale South, getting his broadcast program started up. I'll start from a conversation he and I had at a Blackhawks game. That's 2 years ago now. It's hard to believe. And the work he has done, I mean, in case you guys are not following their social medias, please go do so. They've been doing a lot of great content. I just know he's got plans for this upcoming year. He gives me a little bit of a wink and just... Oh, I heard that. I heard that one.
Ow.
I know you've taken a few of those shiners in your time off the leg.
That's why I stopped playing. Goodness. Not in hockey. Lacrosse, not on purpose, but they sting.
Talking about blocked shots, didn't you have a really bad blocked shot in hockey once where it like messed up the inside of your knee, or am I confusing that with someone else?
Probably. I usually get hit like right up there,
Yeah.
and my shin guard isn't strong enough at this point, to be honest. Good save there by Fuchs.
How old are your shin guards at this point?
Next question.
Next question, that's crazy.
Here comes Garrett Hannett, known as DJ Loxo on Instagram.
First time we've been able to say his name here tonight.
Yeah. Mostly involved as a defender, so presumably why. Nice little screen there by Hannett. Can he help tune up a Bobcats goal? I flinched, and it's out of play.
See, it's crazy. I have not flinched a single time tonight, but I have watched you flinch several times. If our great cameraman Nate Royer was able to get footage on us,
I think I'm just more dialed in on the game than you then, because I'm looking through the glass. I don't remember
I'm looking
the glass
through
is
the
there.
glass as well, and I'm just watching the ball, and I know that I'm safe.
You never know. If a Brian Kazniak shot can break the glass at West Meadows, anything is possible. Roskowski in front, that falls through for Peterson. 6 seconds to shoot. Roskowski, little twisting pass up top. Smith denied. The shot clock does reset. Fugier trying to battle for it. Oh, he can't one-hand it in. And a nice little time to reset now for Chicago.
Well, on that shot clock near violation, as there's a turnover. Here come the Bobcats the other way. Looks to have numbers for a moment. Looking down, shot off the post.
Good try by
really
Senko.
good look.
Senko always sticking out on this Bobcats team. He's got great speed. Really helps flow the transition. Backpedaling now is McNamara. Something to notice throughout this game, Mike Wooden said it on the halftime interview, a lot of field lacrosse helmets on this Bobcats team, and that's probably a lot of field lacrosse guys that are adjusting to this box game, and it's tough to go against a very experienced Portagers squad.
Well, and a big thing, too, is the different surfaces you do have for box lacrosse. You know, this is an ice rink without the ice, so it's a concrete floor. Nice and smooth, but if you know anything about a lacrosse ball, it's a nice swim move inside by Hayes, turned aside by Larson. The ball, on the second bounce especially, something about the physics and momentum. I'm not smart enough with science about it, but the lacrosse ball takes like a lower hop on the second bounce, and it's more of a direct angle. First hop is usually straight up, and it has an arc. Second hop, it skips. And meanwhile, on turf sometimes, those bounces are much more true. As there's a goal in. Bailey Smith able to find the 5-hole of Bruce Fugier. Make that number 19.
Well, the most they've ever scored against the Bobcats is 20. They could do that today.
Got 6 minutes and 10 seconds to do so.
Actually, I'm wrong. It was 21 in the opening meeting between the two. That was actually the first ever Naperville game.
That was the infamous
That was the
Instagram
infamous
Live.
IG Live game, yes. 21-10 back on the 1st of July in 2025. Portagers just really with some hefty wins last season. They were plus 73 in BLL play, which is actually the only team in the Eastern Conference. As another one. How about Pressman? He's fired up. You like that? Noah is just a personality. It's incredible.
He's energetic. I mean, fun guy, yeah.
You see that confidence? It's flaring.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's going to be big for him this season, too, you know, coming back. And it's not like he played bad last year. I think sometimes it could be misconstrued, you know, when we talk about, you know, struggles players have. It doesn't mean that they're playing poorly. It's just, hey, this part of their game is not where, you know, even the player wants it to be. And it's just about developing that. And that's just so key, and especially in box lacrosse. You know, you have to develop those fine-tune areas. You're in a tighter environment than field lacrosse. You know, your mistakes will be torched more frequently in a tighter environment. Turnovers can lead to goals a lot quicker in this game.
Well said. Dumped up top, Lockwood. Picked up off the wall cleanly by Segnar. Backside feed. But they can't find another. Lockwood going back into battle in the corner.
Come on, Flint Lockwood. Well, Cloudy's
Time
a
runs
chance of meatballs reference.
I don't catch all the references, but I caught that one. Here's Brandon Singleton, who did get that goal. We were hoping for him. Kai Hayes gives us a tap on the glass. His personality, love him. Didn't exactly love playing against him. I don't like anybody from Fremd until after they graduate, at least. Then they're more of an ally, but while you're at Fremd, just can't be friends with you. Martino wraparound try won't go. Cameron McKenzie, afterburners in action. And he'll peel away. Leave it for Curtis. Two veterans connecting there. Austin Curtis wearing the A up top on the right side of his jersey. He's got it now.
See, that was a bounce pass from Bailey Smith.
And we really haven't seen too many on this concrete. Smith out in front and no finish. Another shot clock violation, and although it's going to end up a win for Chicago, I don't think they'll be too satisfied with just taking too long here in the fourth. You don't want that to translate in to your next one, especially when it's against Milwaukee. These guys love to beat the Muskies. Usually very good at home about it. We'll see how that one fares off. You can join us here on the Portagers YouTube 2 p.m. is the current scheduled start time, subject to change. July 18th, which is a Saturday at the Salt Creek Sports Center. Going to be happy to be back there, be up in our perch. Honestly, this view's growing on me, though. I like, especially when it's over here, obviously. Kind of a similar view to where we had at Naperville, except Naperville, we were more in the corner, but you're talking about court-side seats. Like, you're really up and close, and you can't see the plays for them as well, but you can get the details of what's going on. Like, it's a little bit harder to tell what defensive formation Chicago's in compared to watching a game from Salt Creek. But I can also tell every detail. As that one hopped probably 4 or 5 times, then was picked up by Chicago. A good look there from McNamara. Everything has its pros and cons. Fist bump from Brian Larson, celebrating another save to his name. Him and Leonard have combined for a pretty impressive game. Their save percentages are high. Riskowski. Air Paul didn't work out. How about a BTB from Bailey? Ew.
Feels like we get one of those every other game from Bailey Smith.
It's 21-3. That was the same score the Packers had when they eventually blew that lead. It was in the wild card, right? Yeah.
Oh, bringing back great memories.
Peak. Just peak.
What a celebration that night was for me.
So maybe Naperville can come back, hypothetically speaking.
Well, with 70 seconds to play, I don't know about that.
Anything's
one.
possible.
Well, not this one. They can score once more. Maybe. Ow.
That's what I didn't like about lacrosse is, like, even if it's like an 11-goal game in field lacrosse, you're still playing full intensity in high school, and it's like, why am I taking these bruises when the game is over? Like, but I get it. It's always to improve on individual efforts, get better at things. Lockwood out in a good angle, but couldn't get to go.
Larson trying to celebrate with the crowd with just under 30 seconds to go.
I will tell you, not the most capacitated game we've ever called, but early in the season.
Look at this. He's got his helmet off.
He knows his day is done. 15 to go, and there's 10 on the shot clock. There still hypothetically could be a shot coming his way.
Well, there's...
And I think the Bobcats will just hold on. Timeout on the shot clock. Final seconds will tick down. Singleton will delay even picking it up. And that's the ball game. The Chicago Portagers moved to 3-0 on the early BLL season, leaving the Bobcats still seeking that first victory that they'll look for throughout this month here in July. Their next game also on the 18th. They'll be on the road at I'm on Ice Arena in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, to take on the Iowa Dogfish, and that will very much potentially be a win for a Bobcats team that is in the Senior A division. The Dogfish are in Senior B, just simply potentially a stronger roster that they'll be able to showcase there if they travel well.
I mean, and I think there's lessons to be learned. I don't think the Bobcats are going to play every single game like this. I especially don't feel like every game against the Portagers is going to go this way. It's just a matter of working on the things they need to work on. A lot of them are very good lacrosse players. It's just that transition, like you said, Luke, earlier, from field into box, and it'll be a good one to see as the season develops.
It's been an absolute pleasure to work this game with everybody. I want to give a quick shout-out to our crew. I want to give a special shout-out, of course, to Russell Matthews as well, who just came here out of kindness to help us get this entire hub back here set up. I don't know how he does what he does. Thank God for Russell Matthews. Thank God for Brad Gorse. Did a great job today producing. Thank goodness for the Nathaniel, gargantuan Nathaniel Royer, doing a great job on camera. Ryan Sure is best, my partner. Any quick final words?
I think I used up all my words.
Fair enough. Luke Jordan will sign off out of here from Bensonville, Illinois. Once again, your final score, the Chicago Portagers 21 and the Naperville Bobcats 3. Thanks for catching this broadcast here on the Portagers page, and we will see you in the future. The home opener coming on July 18th, just 11 days away, as we'll see you then from the Salt Creek Sports Center.